Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Zoe, I'm 22. I usually say I live in Sydney, Australia, but it has now changed. I live in London. I just literally moved. I got in at 3 a.m. 2 days ago. I'm living in London. I am currently just sitting in a park. I just had a job interview. It went really well. I'm looking at working at a Pilates studio as a sales consultant and then also hopefully instructing, which is kind of different to what I was originally thinking, but I think it'll be super cool and fingers crossed. I think I'll find out by the end of the week. So maybe by the time I've uploaded this, I'll have a job, which is crazy. I just got really lucky. My mum saw it online and sent it over to me. The stars aligned, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I haven't talked to you in so long. I'm so sorry. I've been traveling. The last you heard of me, I was in New York. Since New York, I've traveled Europe, I've explored, I've had an amazing 2 months. I'm back. I'm ready to vlog my moving journey and my life in London, which is so exciting. So I don't even know where I start to update you all on what I've been up to. So after New York, so I was staying with family, I was visiting, and then I flew over to London. I'm currently staying with one of my mum's friends. I'm very lucky, very grateful to her for having me. So I was there, I saw her, met her, was there for a couple nights, and then I went to Paris. Paris was solo traveling. I was there for about a week, seeing all the sights. I feel like I did so much in that week. I was staying in Montmartre, so I was in the 18th arrondissement, which was really beautiful. Just a lovely part. I was near the Sacré-Cœur. Yeah, it was just a really fun area. I also met up with my French nanny when I was little. We used to have a nanny who was French. Went to the Palace of Versailles, went to the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, literally just every tourist attraction I went to. And then I met up with a friend and we went to Nice, south of France. I went to feels like every single town you can go to in the south of France. I went to Menton, I went to Monte Carlo, which is actually a country. Not Monte Carlo, I went to Monaco, which is a country, which I feel very stupidly for just learning that this last couple months. Anyway, went to Monaco, so went to Aix. Aix was beautiful. I think Aix was probably my favorite town that we went to. Villefranche. That was beautiful too. Loved Villefranche. Antibes. Oh, we went to a really nice vineyard in Nice. We did like an e-bike tour. Oh my god, the ride back was really scary because I was like feeling some effects of the wine and I was like trying not to crash. Then after that, so I left Nice, flew to Berlin. I met up with another friend and her group of friends. We went to a music festival and that festival was like 3 nights, so we stayed in this quite rural town in Germany, south of Germany. We would like get the public transport / taxi in every day to the festival, and that was really fun. The festival's called Melt Festival. The music was really good. I had a really fun time. Sadly, it was the last year of the festival for I think a multitude of reasons, but yeah, they're not running that festival anymore, so I was really lucky to be able to experience it. Then that friend and I, we went to Spain. So we went to Mallorca. Mallorca was beautiful. We stayed in Palma and then we stayed in Cala Figuera. So we had a bit of the south coast, a bit of the east coast, and then after that we went to Ibiza, had a fun time, saw Calvin Harris, saw Ellie Goulding because she came on for like the last 10 minutes of his set. Also saw Robin Schulz, so he was really cool too. Yeah, I definitely chose the wrong spot to film, right by a playground, so I'm sorry, I hope you can hear me. Yes, Spain, beautiful. I haven't been to mainland Spain, so that's still on the list. We've got plenty of time. Also had the most delicious paella of my life. After Spain, I said bye to my friend, which was so sad. She went back home, I went back to Berlin. So the trip was a bit clunky because I was meeting up with different friends, but it was worth it. So I went back to Berlin, met up with some of my other friends. We were in Berlin for about 5 nights, clubbing, the Berlin Wall, saw some cool art museums, and then after that we all went to Amsterdam. Now I'm gonna have to tell you about all my travel fails because we had a couple in this time. Firstly, I had a toe infection. When we were at the festival, I guess I was on my feet a lot and I had like trimmed my toe, as you do. It was a bit of an open wound situation. TMI. but it got infected. So I was like trying to just use like an antiseptic spray, and then in Spain I got an antibiotic cream, but just was not improving. I was getting a little worried because it was looking really inflamed and it was hurting to walk, and I had to resort to wearing flip-flops, and I was like, this isn't cute, and I'm walking around a lot, I don't want to be wearing flip-flops. So I had to go see a doctor in Germany. Saved me, fixed the toe, life was good. Thank you to that doctor. It was extremely stressful though going to a doctor in the other country. Like Germany was definitely the best case scenario to see a doctor, but it was certainly a little scary because I don't speak German, and I went with a friend. Luckily my friend came with me to the hospital, but I was a little scared. It was late at night, but anyway, we fixed it. Also in Germany we went to 2 car museums. We went to the Porsche Museum and the Mercedes Museum, which was actually really, really fun. I'm not a car person, but I can appreciate a cool car. I can appreciate the cars cost millions of dollars. I can appreciate it. I would also highly recommend Dark Matter in Berlin. It's like this light show, like interactive type of thing, and I found that really, really fun. So going from Berlin to Amsterdam was something. So we actually weren't going from Berlin, we were going from Stuttgart, which was where the car museums were. We had a train pass, should have been all good. Paid for like U-Rail. Should have been able to book stuff, should have been able to make seat reservations for super cheap because I had this pass. But our first train was delayed and we were meant to get on like 3. So the first train was delayed, threw off the whole itinerary. So we were like, okay, fine, we'll rebook something. So we went to rebook, and for whatever reason, we couldn't make a payment. So for these trains that say seat reservation required, where you have to pay, we could not pay, which meant we couldn't get on those trains, which meant that we couldn't really get to Amsterdam. There was 3 of us. Luckily one of the guys, he was able to make a seat reservation after like a million goes. For whatever reason, it just worked for him. And then me and my other friend could not get through. So we had to hop on, I think it was like 5 or 6 different trains that didn't require a seat reservation. So we could just hop on. We'd have to book them obviously, but we didn't have to pay. And we had to get 5 or 6, and it took forever. It was a whole day fiasco, and it's just like one of those things where I was really grateful to be with people and not to be alone trying to navigate that, because if I was alone, my panic level would have been up here. Obviously it was still stressful, but that's the worst travel experience I've had, although there's a couple more to come. Oh my god, it just was so unnecessary. The train pass should have worked, it shouldn't have been an issue, but here we were with issues. So that was one thing that happened. And then got to Amsterdam. Loved, honestly, my favorite part of the trip, I think, because went on this canal cruise, had some cheese, had some wine, just really beautiful food, really cool surroundings, really nice parks, really cool group of people that I was with. Obviously they're my friends, but I think we just had a really fun time. And after Amsterdam, I flew with a couple of my friends to Albania, spent a couple nights in Tirana, which was really cool. It was really interesting to explore the Balkans, which is like 7 or 8 countries in that area. It's like Croatia, Bosnia, Albania, North Macedonia, there's a couple of others. So I had a really cool time in Albania. It was really short though, because I had to go to Athens because I had my Kontiki. So I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I did a Kontiki in Greece. It was like an island hopping thing, and Kontiki is a company that does group travel. So I did that, and that was 10 days. That was going to Mykonos, Paros, Ios, Santorini, all the islands. So much fun. Met so many cool, awesome girls, and yeah, it was cool. It was about a group of 40, and then there was maybe like 10 or so girls who we were all solo traveling, and we all joined a little group, and it was really fun, and made friends who I'll definitely stay in touch with, and I'm sure we'll be watching this video, so hi gals, miss you. Athens was really cool. Saw the Acropolis, saw where they did the first Olympics in the 1800s, and all the islands were beautiful. I think my favorites were Paros and Santorini. Santorini is just stunning. The sunsets were beautiful. And after Athens, this is where we reach another bit of a little bump in the road. So next stop from Greece was Bosnia. So I was meeting up with a different friend in Bosnia, going to Sarajevo. I accidentally booked 2 flights to Sarajevo. So I had booked 1 flight from Athens to Sarajevo on Turkish Airlines. I'd done this in June, so I was well prepared. I was ahead of my time, And then for some reason, it gets to July, like late July. I think it was right before my Kentucky, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have a flight to Sarajevo. Freaked out, quickly booked something on Aegean Airlines. And I was like, whew, all good. Then it comes to the day I'm meant to fly. It was gonna be, both flights were the same day, just a couple hours apart. And I was like, okay, my Aegean flight is at 8 p.m. I can hang out all day, blah, blah, blah. And then around like the afternoon, got an email from Turkish Airlines being like, oh, we've had a change to your seat. I was like, you changed my seat? I was like, Turkish Airlines, I'm not flying you. What are you talking about? And then it was like in my calendar, because sometimes they automatically add flights to your calendar. And I was like, why do I have a flight to Sarajevo with Turkish Airlines? Turns out I had booked myself twice to go to the same location, which meant that I potentially lost like €200 because I still haven't claimed it back on travel insurance, because I might not even be able to. So, moral of that story, I don't even know. Write things down, because man, I just wasted so much money. Because anyway, the point, I got to the destination, which is the main thing. Feeling a little silly and stupid for that move. But got to Sarajevo, all good, and we spent like 2 nights there. After that, we went to Mostar. Got the train. So easy to get the train. You literally buy the ticket. You can buy it ahead of time, or you can buy it while you're sitting on the train on the way there, like someone comes around. So we stayed in this really cool hostel. Let me know if you want to know the names of the hostels I stayed at. I'm happy to recommend or happy to give advice, but as well as activities, things to do. I'm happy to provide advice, because obviously I can't talk through my whole itinerary because that would just take too long. Both were very hot, by the way. Bosnia was like 35 degrees every day, which is hot, Celsius. Mostar is really interesting because they still have a lot of the buildings that were, you know, bombed and destroyed in the war. They keep up to commemorate that history. You walk around the city and you sort of see all these abandoned buildings, and it's really surreal. And we did like a tour, we saw all these really beautiful locations, and then it was time to say goodbye to my friend. And then I was off to Ljubljana in Slovenia. And this is a final destination of the trip. In Ljubljana, I was staying in a hostel, but I have friends from Sydney who are Slovenian, so they were showing me around. That was really awesome. We got to drive around to different places. Another travel fail. So after Kentucky, I got the Kentucky cold or cough. But I didn't really have a cough, so I'm calling it a cold. I still sound nasally too from it. So yeah, I was a bit gross, a bit nasally, a bit snotty, a bit congested. So I was like, okay, I'll go to the pharmacy, I'll get some decongestant medication, as you do. So I took a pill. We were going for a hike, so we went for this nice hike, and then it was sort of a late lunch, so we were all quite hungry, and then I was sitting down at lunch, ready to order. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be sick. So I ran to the bathroom and was sick in the bathroom. I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, it wasn't car sickness. I was like, I'm not sure about this. And then I was like, maybe it's because I took the pill on an empty stomach, or maybe, I wasn't sure. Went back to the table, felt totally fine, like ate lunch, I was back to normal. And then had dinner, and then after dinner I took another pill because I was like, well, I'm congested again, I want to like figure this out. So I took another pill. The same sort of time frame, around like 2 hours after, we were driving back home, back to the city, and I was like, uh-oh, I don't feel well. And we had just gotten onto the main freeway where you can't pull over. And so I had to be sick on myself and in the car. And it was not pretty. And I didn't have a bag. So I felt so horrible. I was like, oh my God, what a low point in my life where I'm being sick in a car like a child. So that happened. And luckily they had, you know, the rubber sort of covers, carpet covers. So luckily the car was fine, but I felt so bad and felt disgusting and it was gross. So I've thrown out those decongestants. I don't know what it is about them, but I'm allergic, and I was like, oh, don't want to deal with that. So that was another fail. So all my fails were relatively, hey, we moved on. They were fine. You have little obstacles in the way. I was in Slovenia for about 5 days, and then I flew back home to London. I flew EasyJet, and our flight was delayed by an hour, so I got in at midnight. And then, you know, getting the train took an hour, and then I had to wait around, and then I was trying to get an Uber, but the Ubers weren't working because it's bank holiday weekend. So I had to get a taxi, and the taxi was expensive, but we made it. Whilst I've talked about a lot of the negatives, I haven't talked about all the amazing things I've done, because it's a lot. It's been an amazing first experience in Europe, and I'm looking forward to more travels. My mum's coming to London in October for her birthday, and then she's just said we're going to go to Belgium together, so it's another country I get to go to. So it's been a really good 2024. I mean, you know, I've had ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster. You know, it's been a lot of emotion thinking about, you know, leaving my friends and my family, but it is good because I feel like I talk to all the people closest to me on a regular enough basis that it doesn't feel like we're too far away. I'm sure as time goes on, you know, it will hit more. You know, people are always gonna visit, and I can always go home. So yeah, I'm having an amazing time so far. Touch wood, it stays moving forward and moving successfully. But yeah, I just wanted to give you that update. That's where I've been, that's what I've been up to. I was too nervous to bring my camera traveling. I probably could have, but I was just too nervous about having it on me, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to vlog. You know, I missed it. So I'm glad to be talking to you guys again. And I will be back every week. I'll be posting probably every week, maybe twice a week. We'll see how I go when I establish a new routine, and I want to know what kind of content you guys want to see. I mean, my job search might honestly be quite short. Pilates role, the sales role will be part-time, so I might be looking for a second job depending on how many hours I end up doing. We just have to see what happens. But yeah, it's been a great 48 hours so far, and I've got a couple friends who are doing the move as well, so I don't feel super alone yet. I'm excited to bring you along, and let me know what kind of vlogs you want to see. It's gonna be winter time, so I'm hoping to see snow. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go find snow as soon as it gets really cold. Let me know what you want to see. I am open to all the things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my update. I think I'll end it here. I think I will just give this a post. It was just a catch up with you. I'm alive, I'm well. I'm in London now, so that's all the updates. I mean, I'm half well, I'm getting there. Once this little stuffiness goes away, we'll be perfection. And I hope you're doing well as well. So I hope you've had a nice couple months, and I'm glad to be back. With that, I'm gonna end the video. Be sure to give me a like and subscribe to see more videos, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. Alright, bye!